The 4th of July was the first major holiday where life felt almost normal, with most COVID restrictions lifted nationwide. Nearly 2 million people passed through TSA checkpoints every day this weekend, and gatherings on beaches and at parades were back in full swing. But the health officials in the White House aren't letting their guard down. 67% of U.S. adults have received at least one dose. That's short of the president's goal of 70%. The rapidly spreading Delta variant is renewing efforts to get more shots in arms to avoid a major surge in cases. NBC News Now correspondent Dasha Burns is following the latest COVID headlines this morning. Dasha, good morning. So we've, of course, talked quite a bit about outreach and programs to get people who've been on the fence about the vaccine to go ahead and get the shot, like bringing the shot to places where they're going to be anyway, commuter hubs, things like that. So tell us about this latest push to vaccinate more Americans.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of celebration over the weekend. And even though the White House fell short of their goal of 70% by the 4th of July, President Biden still striking a pretty optimistic tone over the weekend, but also saying that getting vaccinated is the most patriotic thing that Americans could do. And Savannah, while so many folks celebrated, breathed a sigh of relief that we're rounding the bend here with the pandemic, there are still many parts of this country where the vaccination rate is lagging. Looking at states like Mississippi, where the amount of people with one dose is just 36%. Louisiana, where that number is 39%. States like Idaho, Wyoming, Alabama, 40% of people with at least one dose. And those are the areas where those low vaccination rates are making those communities more vulnerable to the Delta variant, which is spreading, especially among that unvaccinated population, Savannah.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, Dasha, I have one to ask you about that's concerning. It's sad. The CDC is now investigating the death of a 13-year-old Michigan boy who died days after getting his second dose of the PFIZER vaccine. What are you learning about that investigation and what might have happened here?
Hey, Savannah. Yeah, 13-year-old Jacob Kleinick died in his sleep 3 days after receiving his second dose of the PFIZER vaccine. His aunt telling the Detroit Free Press that he was healthy with no underlying conditions. And the county health department in Saginaw County, where Jacob was from, telling local press, confirming the CDC is investigating whether there is a correlation between his death and the vaccine. And that is the important thing to note here, Savannah. There are still a lot of questions. There is not yet a confirmed connection between his death and the vaccine. And examiners say that it could still be months before this investigation is complete.
Absolutely important context there. Dasha, also, let's stay on Pfizer. Researchers in Israel say the vaccine is less effective against the Delta variant. How much protection do people have? What's Pfizer saying about this? And if you got this shot, is there anything you need to know?
Yeah, Israel's health ministry saying that Pfizer is less effective against the Delta variant than previous strains, according to a preliminary study. The data shows full inoculation is 64% effective at preventing infection. That's compared to 94% with previous strains. But here's the key piece here. Again, it is still highly effective against preventing hospitalization, showing a 93% effectiveness rate at preventing hospitalization, Savannah.
And that is something so important to keep in mind and to keep you safe. Dasha, thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.